We are so happy to be able to use this very feature here to be able to share with you the beauty of mind, body, and spirit healing. As we are all coping as a world with the issues of the COVID virus and the effects that it is having on people, both physically and mentally, and even spiritually, as we have seen, we are reaching out through all the ways by which we can help to make life a bit more bearable for the patients and also for those who are working within the field. So, what we are doing right here from home tonight, we are looking at the effects of being able to not only cleanse the body, but also how to cleanse the spirit. And so we are reminded that spiritual and physical healing, they go hand in hand. Many people tend to the physical temple, but often neglect the spiritual temple. And so we have to remember that they work synonymously and that it is so important for us to be able to care for them both at the same time. So someone could be very healthy physically and yet is not as healthy spiritually. Someone could be very healthy spiritually and possibly neglect to take care of themselves physically. Although spiritual health should really lead to having a great regard for the body and the temple and being able to care for it because you understand it to be the place where God really leads and where he dwells. And so we want to be able to keep you reminded that while you are caring for the physical self, do not neglect the spiritual self. And the psalmist David, he knew that very well because in Psalm 51 and verse 7, he said, "Purge me, God, purge me with hyssop so that I might be clean." So he was really looking for that spiritual cleansing. And hyssop was a particular um, treatment that was used in ancient times as a cleaning mechanism and agent. It was used for treating people with leprosy, and it was also used with treating the plague as well, as the ancient people, God's people, had gone through those situations. Hyssop was used in treatments for those ailments. So it was a great cleansing and cleaning mechanism that was used during that time. And so the psalmist was saying, I want to be close to you. And so I need to be clean. I need to be washed. I need to be cleansed so that I could be purified in your presence. And at this stage in our generation, in our modern has also given. So then hyssop was one of the cleansing mechanisms used for physical cleansing, but there was also the spiritual symbolism that it was also used for. So while it was something physical, it also had its spiritual implications. And so he was saying, use that and clean me out so that I stand before you as a clean person. And so in our modern times, what kind of cleansing mechanisms do we have? What things are we able to use that even though they have physical effects, but they can be used as a symbolism spiritually? And we know that there are several, but in this presentation, I will be sharing with you what lemon does as a cleansing agent to the body. And I'm sure that you have seen numerous presentations on the use of lemon and what it does for the body. And that is wonderful as much as you are able to know about it and as much as you are able to learn about it, that is absolutely excellent. It has great effects, not only externally, because it serves as a bleaching and cleansing agent. So lemon literally cleanses and cleans out the system, and it has the ability to boost the immunity level. And so for those who at this time is struggling with the effects of the cold, and even battling the results of the virus that the world is now fighting, one of the great ways that you can succeed in combating that, and not even waiting until it gets to you, but to prepare yourself in advance, is taking lemon into the system. And there are a few ways by which you can ingest lemon that is able to clean out the system, because when the body is clean, when it is cleansed internally, when it is purified, it makes it better to absorb things like your medication, for those who are on medication. But it also leads to vitality and energy, and that comes through the skin as well. So it also leads to healthy and glowing and beautiful skin, because when the body is clean inside, it will show on the larger organ, which is the skin. So I want to share with you some things that you can do with lemon at this time as you are protecting yourself from this virus that could keep your immunity level at a high, due to the high levels of vitamin C that is contained within the lemon. And so I have here 3 slices of lemon. And if you will notice, it has the skin. And that is very important. Many people tend to not give a lot of attention to the skin, but it is equally important. It does have properties that, when placed in hot water, that releases those properties and makes it effects even that stronger. So we have 3 slices of lemon here, and I'm going to place them in a clear bowl so that you are able to see. And I have all 3 slices here in the bowl. And I have here in my cup hot water. So you pour the hot water over, and you let it come up until it covers your lemon. And of course, when your lemon has reached its covered place, you can always just let it sit and let it steep for a bit until the properties are released within from the juice and the skin. And you can let that sit for a while until you can see that the juices are beginning to mingle with the water and take effect. So when you drink it, you can really feel like you're having the lemon. For people who are taste sensitive, because everybody is different, you can always add just a little bit of honey. Now, you don't want to do too much, but you can always add a little bit of honey, and I have some here. And you can simply just sprinkle, and you somewhat just stir a bit until you have somewhat of a mixture, and you can let that sit. If you are like me and you will drink anything as long as it will make you better, then you can take your lemon in its water straight up. You want the water to be as warm as possible so that it really works on releasing the juices. And right there, you have an immune booster that, one, cleans the blood, purifies the blood, cleans out your system, allows your immune level to be boosted to a healthy height, because the vitamin C levels in the lemon is very potent. And there you protect from colds and flus. And in the case where so many are battling and combating this virus, you are able to protect yourself in advance. If you're already sick and you are at home, you have not made your way to a medical facility, it is a good way for you to be able to treat yourself while you are at home. Another use of the lemon is the lemon juice, which many people do like and tend to use that a lot more. I also want to encourage you, for those who are using the lemon with the peel, if you are choosing to do this particular one, which I do like because you get everything. You get the juice, you get the properties from the peel. Please use organic lemons, because that way you know that it's coming from, a place that is more healthily grown. You can also put your hot water, and I have here lemon juice. You put your hot water in your lemon juice, and once again, you can take that straight up, meaning you don't add anything to it. There are other things that you could combine with this for more potent combinations, but I would like to speak about those particular things in another video rather than combine them here. Today we're doing just lemon. And so you can use, also, if you are taste sensitive, okay, because not everyone likes anything medicinal. So you can also put just a little bit. You don't want it to be too sweet, but it at least somewhat takes away the tinge of the lemon, and it makes it more of like a juice, because you have that little bit of sweetness, makes it more palatable, makes it more enjoyable while still having the health effects that you are looking to receive from the lemon. So here are two ways that you can boost your immunity during this time of the cold, this time of the virus, and not feeling you're optimal, but yet you want to be able to treat yourself from your kitchen, from your home. So the next time you go out to do your shopping, be sure that lemon is a part of your produce, and it is something that you should always keep at home because of its great and high benefits on the body. So, what we have learned today through this process is that not only are we to tend to ourselves spiritually, we should tend to ourselves physically. Not only should we tend to ourselves physically, we should also tend to ourselves spiritually. And so, knowing that the same effects and the same commitment that God is expecting from us to be able to be clean on the inside as spiritual vessels, He wants us to also be clean inside as physical vessels. And in knowing that, in order for us to be able to give our very best, in the same way that to give our very best physically, we would have to be healthy. When we are tired, lethargic, when we do not feel our optimal, when we are overly exhausted, we don't feel our best and we do not perform to our optimal selves. However, when we feel healthy, when we are energized, when we feel that we are strong, then we can take on the world. We want to do things, we want to go places. And it's the same thing spiritually. If we do not tend and care for ourselves spiritually, if we do not allow for the cleansing abilities and powers of God to cleanse our hearts, our minds, to purify us from the inside. And by the way, when you are cleansed spiritually, it will show physically. You will exude a glow. That's what a matter of fact, the word of God said, that the people whose trust are in Him, meaning that the people who allow for Him to purify and purge them, He says that He has the ability to make them radiant. They glow. Why? Because they are healthy spiritually from the inside. And so it is with when we are healthy physically. When we are healthy physically, it shows. And it tends to show in our faces, in our countenance, and of course in the larger organ, which is our skin. So do not only care and tend for yourself physically during this time of crisis, during this time of panic, during this time of fear, during this time of symptoms that are overwhelming. The same attention that you have given to your physical selves, give it to your spiritual selves. And so, if you are just tuning in with us live and you are looking at this broadcast, we want to just go over one more time the powerful effects of lemon as a cleansing and purifying agent to help in this time of preserving yourself from this virus, but also boosting your immunity to be able to protect yourself. And one of the things that we stated is that we can use slices of lemon, which I have here, and I'm going to just scoop one of those out so you can see how thinly I slice those. And you can slice about 3 or 4 of those if you feel that you need more, depending on the severity of your cold. You slice, you drop in hot water or warm enough water. Okay, you want to drop it in and you allow it to steep. And if for any reason it is too, the taste is not palatable, you add a little honey. And you do that and mix in and let steep for maybe about 15 or so minutes. Let it steep until the juices are released. The next one that we do is lemon juice. You squeeze your lemon into a cup or into a bowl. You get enough and sufficient juice. And I stated that organic lemons are your best option. You put it in there and you put that with some hot water. And you can also add a little lemon for taste if you are someone who doesn't really like the tinge of things that taste like medicine. You put a little honey and you can drink that first thing in the morning would be best before you had your breakfast on an empty stomach so your body receives that. It cleanses the blood, it purifies the blood, it boosts your immune system to a very healthy and heightened level that allows it to fight colds and flu-like symptoms. So this is a very great time to utilize this powerful yet simple fruit that God has put on the earth, because everything needed for the healing of our bodies, God gave it to us. And while I appreciate medicine, I really do, and I love what God has been able to do through the scientific method to bring about innovative and creative means to care and treat people in our modern day. Yet he has also given us very simple things in nature, right from our cupboards, that is able to bring us healing. And there you have it, my friends. Physical healing, spiritual healing, they go hand in hand. And we will look at more foods and more fruits and more things that you can do right at home that has physical benefits, yet they have spiritual implication. What is the spiritual implication here? The spiritual implication for the lemon, which serves as a bleaching agent. And the lemon is so powerful that if you use the juice on a blemish, it would clear out that dark spot time. It is powerful because it serves as a bleaching agent. And so the same way that God is looking to cleanse us physically and give us beauty by taking these things into our system, he wants to do the same thing spiritually. And we learned that in ancient time, the spiritual symbolism for cleansing was hyssop, which was used to treat the plague issues that the children of God had faced, and which was also used to treat people with leprosy. But it had a spiritual symbolism as well. It cleansed physically, but the psalmist said, purge me with hyssop, wash me with it. I want to be clean. I want to be as white as snow. Lemon, in today's times, this modern time, also is a powerful fruit that can be ingested physically but still has spiritual implication because it cleanses, it cleans, it bleaches. And the same way God does that in the physical, He wants to do that for you in the spiritual. Just like the blood washes and makes us clean, like He stated in 1 John 1:7, you are washed with the blood and become cleansed. So, lemon, physical need, spiritual implication. As you treat yourself during this time of the virus, bring lemons home and use any one of these recipes, whether the skin in the hot water or the juice in the hot water. Put a tinge of honey and enjoy something that will eventually show. It will show in your skin, it will show in your face, it will show, or you will see the effects, because once the inside of your body is cleansed, it is going to show on the outside. Blessings on you. Continue to like, subscribe to the channel. We will continue to speak to you in those various ways, using the foods as medicine, but also understanding their spiritual implications. I look forward to sharing in the next live video with you. Have a wonderful evening.